Welcome to Taking Tea in Style, Tea Talk, Real Talk, where we're going to have discussions over tea about issues and things that matter. So today we have a wonderful lady that has a beautiful product. It is absolutely delicious. And so I'm going to introduce you to the Jam Lady, Kim.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much.
So thanks for coming. We've known each other for quite a few years and have done a lot of events together.
Yes, we have.
And of course, as part of my tea parties, I use these wonderful jams. So, I just can't imagine a tea party or life without these wonderful jams. So just tell us a little bit about, your story, how you got started, and just, how did you come up with all these wonderful flavors?
Well, Sharon, I made my first jam when I was about 12 years old. I grew up in a house. My mom was an amazing cook, and she canned everything. I can remember the, produce that came out of the garden, but she would also go to the farmer's market and get bushels of peaches and pears and plums, and my mom made the best applesauce. And my earliest memory of canning was actually she would take peaches and pears and peel them and take the the center out, and my job was to push the cinnamon stick down in the jar. So canning has always been a part of my life. And as a young girl, my grandfather had a grape arbor, and while he used to make his wine, I made my first jam was a grape jam. And so I used his grapes, and I love making jam. I always loved to cook, and so making jam was just something that I always did. As a younger person, it was my hostess gift. It was always my holiday gift to people, when you didn't have, weren't working or didn't have a lot of money, people always appreciated a homemade jam. And so I made jam for me, for family, for some friends. And then in 2009, I was laid off from corporate America, and I thought about getting another job, and I really just, thought about what I could do. I took my resume to a good friend for lunch. We were talking, and he was going to give me some advice, and he said to me, "What do you really love to do?" And I reached into my bag and I gave him a jar of jam, and he had received my jam before, and he said to me, the opportunity is right here in front of your face. He sent me to a contact of his at the Small Business Development Center. I took a couple of classes, and Jams by Kim was born, September 2009. So this year, I'm looking forward to September and celebrating 5 years in business.
That is awesome.
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure the road is definitely not easy.
Oh.
You made it sound so.
I learned a
5
lot.
Years,
yeah,
but, 5 years probably seemed like 10 years.
Oh,
in
it seems like
entrepreneur life.
a long time. But I love making jam. When I'm in the kitchen and I get that fragrant aroma of the fruit or even some vegetables cooking, it's just the best thing. And then for me, I sell my jams, on my website at jamsbykim.com, but most of my sales come from farmers markets. And so this year, I'm actually going to do 4 weekly markets.
Wow, nice.
I'll be at the Montclair Farmers Market, the Summit Farmers Market, downtown Newark at the PSE&G Plaza, and I'm going to do the Rutgers Gardens Farmers Market. So farmers markets, I can purchase local produce, which is amazing. I make the jams, and that's where most of my sales come from.
Right, and that's a perfect marriage.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because again, it's all local.
Absolutely. It's like having your own storefront.
Right.
One day a week I'm in the same spot. And, I rent my commercial kitchen. My jams are made in Manville now. And so I make the jams. I sell the jams, life is good.
Yes.
When people love my jams and they enjoy them, that makes me feel so good.
Yes, I can imagine, because like I said, I use, and one of my favorite is the blueberry lemon, which is just outstanding on scones. And so I use that one at a lot of my parties.
Yeah.
But I also love the spicy pepper jam, which is it just takes it up a notch. The spiciness is just perfect.
It is.
And now some of your new ones. So tell us how many jams you have, and what made you, come up with the
Well,
creations?
I make the things that I love, that I enjoy. When I started my business, I had 6 flavors. 3 in what I consider my fruity category and 3 on the savory side.
Right.
So my roasted garlic and sweet onion, the pepper jam, and my cranberry chutney, they were my
Right.
first 3 savory flavors.
Nice.
And they're still, big sellers for me
Right.
now. That
Okay.
roasted garlic and sweet onion
That is
has been
good.
the most popular savory for a long time. But I added the carrot and ginger jam,
yeah.
and that's an amazing seller also.
Yes.
And on the fruity side, I just keep making things that I love,
Right.
something that tastes good, something else that's local. So I'm getting ready to do an event at the Grounds for Sculpture,
Oh, nice.
where it's going to be like going back to the early days of the state fair. So I'm
Right.
going to do a little canning demonstration,
Okay,
and I was
nice.
thinking about a flavor that might have been made years ago, and I came up with the apples. I'm using apples and ginger and a little bit of orange in my apple pie jam. So I didn't set out to call it apple pie jam, but everybody who tastes it says that's what it tastes
Right.
like.
And
So
I had the opportunity to taste
to
it a couple
sample
weeks
that?
ago, and oh, it blew me away. I was like a kid. I was ready to just eat it out of the jar.
I
It was
know.
that phenomenal.
Yeah, and then the blueberry and lemon was featured in the gift baskets that the NFL owners received for the Super Bowl. So that has really come a long way. You can't beat Jersey blueberries.
Yes,
So
it's great. And when you told me about it, I was like, and you said they picked one of my favorite flavors.
Yes,
Like, yes, in 38 of the owners' bags. I think that's outstanding.
Yeah,
When you told me, I thought, well, maybe someone told her about it, but she looked you up on your website.
Yeah, she
and
found
so
my
that was like
website.
wonderful. God was on your side,
absolutely,
right?
God is good
Directed
all
it right
the time.
to Jams by Kim. So that's
I'm
amazing.
actually working on an update to my website. It's
Okay.
been a while now, and so
Okay.
I hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll have a revamped, rejuvenated
Nice,
website.
nice.
So that like I said, I started with 6 flavors, and there are about 25 flavors now. Many are seasonal.
Right.
I'll make, it's like someone was looking for my peach jam just this weekend, and I said,
Yeah.
I make Jersey peaches into jam in July and August. I
Right.
make as much as I can make, and usually it lasts through the Christmas holiday, but there's no more now. It'll be
Right.
summer again before
Okay.
we get Jersey peaches to make that one. And they come in, they come out, and some are the standards. I mean, I can always get the carrots and I can get the onions and garlic and the peppers, but some of the other flavors sort of come and go. Another one that you really enjoyed was the Concord grape, which I just happened upon. I was at the
Wow.
farmer's market, and one of my farmers had, Concord grapes,
Right.
and it wasn't one of my regular flavors, but it's always been my dad's favorite flavor. So I made the Concord grape,
Right.
and it lasted until it sold
Yeah,
out.
but you know what's interesting? Because I really wasn't a
grape
grape
person?
person either. All my life you have the peanut butter and jelly. I used strawberry jam back
Oh, okay.
But when I tasted your jam, like I tasted it maybe some time ago. And I said, okay, it's nice. But then, I just sat there and I said, okay, let me just try this. So I bought some rice cakes the other day and I
yeah.
put it on and I couldn't stop eating the rice cakes. I kept going back in the fridge and pulling it out. You can see the grapes, you can taste the grapes.
Yeah.
It's not too sweet. The consistency is just perfect.
Oh,
so
thank you.
that's a new favorite for me,
For
you
you.
know.
Okay.
And I usually don't like ordinary flavors, but that's just, you can't
It's
beat
spectacular.
Yeah,
It is. It is. I tell you, I love making jam. When I can get something new like
Right.
that, the grape was just, there happened to be local grapes
Right.
available. So, that was an extra day in the
Yes.
kitchen spent making grape jam. So, I'd like to say it's going to end, I don't know, I'll cap the number of flavors,
Right.
but, as I mentioned, my 5th anniversary is coming in September, so now I'm thinking about an anniversary
Yes.
flavor.
Oh,
What will be
wow.
my
Oh, my
anniversary flavor as we come along there?
Yeah.
So who knows?
That is wonderful. I mean, and I'll tell you a little quick story about the carrot ginger.
Uh-huh.
Like I would have not thought that would be great on the scones. So I was doing a tasting one day and had some scones and I brought that with me and people loved it. It blew them away. Even I was shocked. I was like, okay, I wouldn't have necessarily put it on a scone,
scones.
but it was fabulous as well. So,
You know, that carrot and ginger jam is so versatile. I've used that carrot and ginger jam on top of salmon. I've used it on chicken. I've put it in thumbprint cookies.
Wow.
Personally, I love it best just like a teaspoon of jam and a cup of plain yogurt.
Wow.
It's delicious.
Yes.
So there are so many ways, and one of the things that I enjoy is, enlightening my customers about new ways to use their jams.
Yes.
Some people think traditionally,
Right.
peanut butter and jam,
Yes, I
but
know.
there are lots of ways to cook with jams.
Right. Bake with it.
Bake with
Yeah.
jams, yeah,
And
absolutely.
I think it's also a great thing to do because people eat jams. I always say, the food industry is always a good industry to be in because people love food
Yeah.
and it makes them happy. But jams is something that you eat basically every day on toast. You can, like you said, cook with it. You can bake with
You
it.
can make
so
a
many
salad
things that you
dressing,
can do
yeah.
with it. So I just think it's just a great business. And I mean, I know, now you're doing well. You kind of mentioned, you did really
New
well
events,
last year.
yeah.
And I'm just like so ecstatic, so proud, and
Oh,
I'm
thank
honored
you.
to know you and just be around you.
Well, you
because-
helped me. You know it takes a village, Sharon, but you introduced me to the Intersect Fund, which is an amazing nonprofit organization that really
Yes.
helped me write my first business plan. And it's been the networking back and forth, the
Right.
fact that we can do events together
Right.
so we can share your amazing teas with my jams. We have some baker friends
Right.
that's what it's all
Nice.
about, one helping
the
another.
other. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Now, and I know you used to do your jam sessions, which I used to love too, showing people
Yeah.
again how to use it and be creative.
How to use jams. We've
Yes.
done some amazing dinner party jam sessions where I've, taken one, appetizers are easy. You can do, you can mix a jam with soft cheese, goat cheese, cream cheese, brie, bake it, and, appetizers are easy. But I took the carrot and ginger jam, I made a nice vinaigrette salad dressing,
Right.
I put the pepper jam on the salmon, I
Wow.
put the roasted garlic and sweet onion jam over chicken. We had a green vegetable, and then you come back to desserts.
Right.
I've made some fabulous frozen yogurt pies. The blueberry lemon is delicious over top of cheesecake. You can make a
Yes.
sundae with vanilla ice cream. We
Yes.
had the apple pie jam with
Oh, amazing.
over a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It was fabulous. And so
I just had it in the teaspoon and it was fabulous. It was just out of this world.
So I enjoy doing the dinner parties and also children. I've had
Right.
some Girl Scout troops. I've had a Jack and Jill group in the kitchen and let them make a strawberry jam.
Right.
There's nothing like looking
Right.
at, 8 to 10-year-old
Yes.
kids mashing strawberries
Right.
and actually going home with a jar
I
of
know,
jam
that
that
is
they
exciting.
made.
That is
So
exciting.
I love to spread, the whole history of
Yes.
canning, and I make jam the same way my grandmother made
Yes.
jam
So,
in
tell us
small
a little
batches.
bit about that.
Well, my grandmother had a pear tree, so I'm partial to the
Okay,
pear jam
okay.
because pear is one of my favorite
Wow.
fruits.
Okay.
So, like I said before, as a child, we always had a pantry full of, those mason jars or ball jars, and there was always, applesauce or jam or peaches or pears. It was, an amazing experience to grow up with that as
Right.
the standard. And so canning is something that I did from my childhood, and shared it with my family. Like you would never see, store-bought jam in even my brothers and sisters' homes now. So I just love the fact that you can get the fresh taste of summer in the
Right.
middle of wintertime in a snowstorm. If you can
Yes.
open up a jar of jam and taste the summer flavors.
Right.
So, we are here in the Garden State, and even when the Super Bowl came knocking, I tried to convince them that, we had a variety of flavors, but
Right.
they wanted the local blueberry. And so for me, it's just the way to do things.
Right.
Some things, we live in this really fast-paced
Right.
society. Everything is zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yes.
But when you can savor the same way, you often say, sit down, relax, get your
yes.
china cup out and
Yeah,
have a cup of
exactly.
tea. Savor a really good jam.
Yes.
And you can create new memories.
I'm still thinking about that grape jam on my rice cake.
Oh, I
It
know.
was so amazing.
You can
Oh my
create
God, I can't
great
stop talking
memories.
about it.
In fact, at the Princeton Farmers Market this week, I'm going to have a taste session. I've got an apple pie jam, which is one of my new flavors, and I tested another, a cranberry and grape jam.
Yes.
So we'll be sampling them, and I'm going to give
Okay.
folks a chance to cast a vote for
Great.
which flavor.
Great.
I've had them out at a few shows recently, and
Okay.
the apple pie jam is in the lead, but
Okay.
we'll see what
Yes,
happens.
It's good. It's so good. I used to have, I told you before that I used to have apple pie tea. There used to be a sister from Harlem that used to blend
Ooh.
it. And I used to sell that a lot or do that a lot, use it a lot, sorry, at my tea parties for the kids.
Okay.
They just loved it. And, you know, especially like Thanksgiving and the holiday, it was nice. So when you said that, I was like, oh, it'd be nice. What a nice pair, you know?
Absolutely.
But yeah, so
Absolutely.
that's a great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I tell you, I love making jams. I'm actually now looking to get somebody that can help me sell jams in
Yes.
places where I can't be. But
Right.
as an entrepreneur, you know, it's about getting the jams out there,
Right.
you know, giving people an opportunity to taste something
Yes.
new and
Right.
different
Right.
and seeing what it does to
Yeah.
the sales.
Yeah, and especially when you're putting your heart and love into it, you can
Oh,
really
yeah.
taste that in these jars. You can
Absolutely.
taste the love, and it's really wonderful ingredients. You know, it's not too sweet and sugary.
No.
It's just a perfect blend. So I
Balance.
don't know how you
It's
do
all
it,
about
but
balance.
yes, it's really amazing.
It's all about
Yeah,
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your September anniversary. Do you have anything totally
Well,
finalized yet? Or you
well,
still
I hope
working
to
it
have
out?
Taking Tea and Styles tea at
Of
my
course.
event, but I want to have an event to celebrate, you know, my 5 years in business, but also, you know, along the way, there have been 5 individuals in a variety of different ways, but that really helped me to move my business along. And I want to celebrate some other businesses,
Right.
just like yours. And so I want it to be a celebration.
Right.
I've got the date. I'm evaluating venues right now, but
Right.
I hope we'll do something like Jam Around the Clock,
Oh,
so
nice.
that for our refreshments, we'll have, you know, some breakfast items, some appetizers, some lunch, some dinner,
Right.
some
Okay,
desserts,
nice.
and show people, again, the many different ways that you can use jams in your everyday life, in your entertaining
Right.
life, when you're party planning. And so look forward to coming along with me and
Yes.
celebrating 5 years. I
yes.
can't believe it, 5 years in
I'm
business.
excited. Yes.
Yeah,
5 years.
absolutely.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
Amazing.
it's more than a notion, but I feel like, you know, making that transition from corporate America, I never wanted to be
Right.
an entrepreneur. It's not something that I ever aspired
Right.
to,
Wow.
but I sort of, you know, stepped into it, and it's like, wow, you know, you really you can do this.
Yeah.
And the local farmers markets that have helped me have been really great. The ability to have a spot where I can feature my product on a weekly basis, it's unbelievable. And, you know, they've just been received so well. I did a craft show last weekend, and I had a customer who sent me an email. I got it this morning just before I came. And she wrote me just saying, you know, I just had to tell you how much I enjoyed that
Wow.
carrot and ginger jam. She said, you know, I bought it at the craft show this weekend. She said, and you know, I may have a little bit of a problem. Yesterday when I was at work, all I could think about was coming home and having that carrot and ginger jam on crackers.
Wow.
And she said, last night I think I dreamt about it.
Oh,
So I'm going to
no.
have to order some from your website
Wow.
for family and friends because I'm not giving up my
Right,
jam.
right.
And sometimes I think I have created
A
jam
monster.
hoarders.
Oh my gosh,
You know,
yes.
people who hide
Addicted.
their jam from, I've gotten amazing emails from folks who talk about how they hid their jam from their family,
Right.
their spouse,
Right.
their children. It's like, nope, this is not children jam. This is grown-up jam.
So tell us honestly, what is the secret that's in here that's making everyone so addicted?
You know what it is? It's the love that I put into my jams. You know, when I'm in my kitchen, you know, I make everything fresh. So I select the produce, you know, I peel it, I chop it, I mash it, whatever it needs, and, you know, I make it in small batches the traditional way. You know, this is not like some of the mega companies that make jam in 1,000-gallon vats. You know, this is made in really small batches by hand, and you can taste the difference.
Right.
You know, I can't imagine going back. You know, every once sometimes I think I should just carry jam, you know, a jar of jam in my car because
Oh,
I go to
definitely.
restaurants and, you know, sometimes you go out to breakfast and you know that stuff that's in those little foil packets, I can't put that on my toast.
I know, it's hard. I know, I feel the same way with the tea. Like when I go out, I'm like, you know what? after you having this wonderful tea and just to go and have regular tea, it's like, you know what, why don't I bring mine with me? But I always forget, you know, but you're right.
But you think about it
Yes,
after the fact and you say, next time I'm going to keep some
Exactly.
in my car. And you know, the fact that there are great businesses like yours, you know, that we can support each other,
Right.
it just makes
It does.
life good.
It does. It does.
It makes
and then we
life
can
good.
talk about each other's business. And that's the thing. For me, I'll be honest, if I don't care for the person, even if they have a good product, I will never push them. Because I think it's a partnership. You know, your product, services, and your personality should be the same in terms of being, you know, friendly. Because a lot of times people are not always friendly, and they're just not really nice people. But I just love your personality. I just love who you are. You're real, you're true, you're honest, and you know, you're a good friend. So
Thank
I just,
you.
you know, wanted to bring you on the show because I just think that you and your jams are amazing.
Thank you,
It's
Sharon.
just a wonderful business, you know. Like you said, who'd have thought? You know, I call you the jam lady.
The
and
jam
it's-
lady, you're the tea lady.
Right,
I know,
so-
and you know, I pass people all the time, and they'll say to me, "Oh, you know the tea lady." It's like, yeah, oops, excuse me. It's like, yes, I know the tea
Yes,
lady,
yes.
and you know, we can refer clients and customers back and forth, and
Yes.
just share all that is
Yeah,
good. You
yeah.
know, I tell you, you've really helped me to build my business,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate
Well,
it.
like I said, you know, I love you as a person, and I definitely love your jams. So I just, anytime I can talk about you and talk about the jams, I'm always for that. So
thank you.
I'm really excited.
Thank you. Well, this should be 2014 should be a great year for
Yes,
both of us.
yes.
I know you've got great things on the horizon for
Yes.
this year, and you know, I still would love to see, you know, a co-op cafe that we could
Yes.
have all of our products
we've been
in,
talking
and you
about
know,
that
we
for quite a
we
while
do.
now
We talk
because-
about it, and you know, it's coming. It's coming.
Yes.
We keep working on it. The
Yes.
more our businesses
Right.
grow, we'll get closer and closer to
Yeah.
it, and then one day it'll
Right.
be,
I think that would be a
you know,
phenomenal business.
our
you
Sisters
know?
Cafe,
Yes.
where we can have,
know.
you know, baked goods and
Yes.
jams and teas
Yeah.
and a really good time.
Yeah, because we know so many people that are
Yeah.
great chefs, and we know people that do some great
Amazing
desserts
bakers.
and breads. And,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know, just put that together, that place would be hopping. I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And a place where we can also do our events. You know, you
Yes.
do children's tea parties and etiquette sessions. I do jam sessions. You know, a spot that
It'd
we
be
could
so
make all of those
exciting,
things happen.
Wouldn't it be? You know, so many
Absolutely.
different themes and just different things to bring people to an exciting place.
Yes.
It'll definitely be the hit spot. Yeah, that's something I know we've been talking about for a long time, you know.
Yeah. Well,
And it will happen.
it's time to stop
Yeah,
talking
I
and
know,
to really
and let
make it happen.
That's for sure. That is for
and
sure.
to make it happen.
Yeah. So are you going to be doing any more sessions where you're showing people how to make the jams? and
Yeah,
things
I
coming up?
am. As soon as I think it'll be 2.5 weeks when my new website launches. So
nice.
probably by the time this show airs,
Okay.
you know, jamsbykim.com will have gotten a
Right,
facelift.
okay.
And then we're going to do some jam sessions. I've had some interest from adult groups that would be interested in learning how to make a jam.
Okay.
And so I'd love to help with that, particularly, you know, as we get into May, I'm excited because the first Jersey fruit strawberries generally are ripe in New Jersey
wow.
in May. And so
Okay.
that'll be the first, you know, fresh out of the ground
Right.
produce. I wind up having to freeze
Okay.
fruit sometimes because, you know, my Jersey blueberries, you know, in order to have blueberry lemon year round,
Yes.
you got to put a lot of blueberries away, but fresh strawberries should be ripe here in Jersey in May, and that's actually how my strawberry and banana jam came to be. But we'll have strawberry jam, so I think I'd like to hold the jam session just before strawberries are
Okay,
available
nice.
here.
Nice.
Local
Okay.
fresh strawberries are available. So yeah, more jam sessions to come. And I got a phone call from a Girl Scout troop leader, a Brownie leader, who was interested in a jam session for her
Nice.
girls. So we're
Nice.
working on dates for that. So if
Right.
anyone is interested in having children or adults learn about jam making, you know, you can reach me at info@jamsbykim.com or go to my website at jamsbykim.com, and
Nice.
we should be able to help with that.
Good.
And so we'll
Good.
party. We'll have
Yeah, oh, yeah,
a jam
definitely,
session
definitely.
for sure.
And now I want to ask you, out of all the jams, what are your like top 2 or 3 sellers?
Oh, that's hard to
Not-
say.
Not put you on the spot.
No, I'd have to say this year the blueberry and lemon jam is definitely
Wow.
a top seller.
Okay.
And the carrot and ginger has just about taken the roasted garlic and sweet onion was my top savory, but the carrot and ginger is in the lead there.
Okay.
I think those would have to be my top two flavors.
Wow.
You know, personally, I'm a marmalade girl, and
Okay.
when I started, I didn't want to make orange marmalade because
Right.
I thought, you know, that's sort of ordinary. I went for the tangerine marmalade, and so that is one of my personal favorites. You know, blackberry, raspberry. I like the berries. I like jam.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
people say to me, "What's your
Favorite.
favorite flavor?" And it's like I
hard.
don't make a jam that I don't
Right,
love.
right.
So
Yes, yes, it makes
but
sense.
but blueberry lemon, you know, the lemon just gives a great brightness to the blueberry jam. So that's in the lead right now. And
Okay.
so we'll see what happens with the apple pie jam
Great.
because that's a new flavor.
All right. Yeah, well, I mean, I can't wait to have, you know, some more jam sessions with you. 'Cause
Okay.
it's really fun and exciting, you know, tasting all these things and just around wonderful people. And as you know, I have an event coming up on March 28th.
Yeah.
And on the menu, we're going to have a cheese, fruit, and artisanal jams, which of course I will be
excellent.
selecting a couple of these to have at the
Fabulous.
bar.
That sounds
and I
great.
think people are going to love it. You
Oh,
know,
I'm sure
definitely
they
going to
will.
love it. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that.
There's so many great cheese things. I love the brie cheese baked with
Yes.
jam. I love, you know, mixing the soft cheese, goat cheese. The carrot and ginger is great with the mascarpone cheese. So,
Right.
you know, cream cheese, any soft cheese.
Yeah, and you know what you haven't talked about?
What's that?
Your wine jams. And I think those are like heaven. I don't hear you talk about that one too much, but
The jellies, you know, I really made them around holiday time. You can make jelly. Jelly is made from juice and sugar.
right.
And so I made some wine jellies this year. I did some reds. I did the Pinot Noir
Yes,
that
I
was
love-
very
I love that one.
very well received. I did a Chambourcin that came from a local winery. I've tried a Merlot. I did a Cabernet.
Right, I
did
love that one. I had that with brie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I did White Zinfandel. I did Pinot Grigio. You know,
that's
I even
just
did
so
a Moscato.
creative, yeah.
It just fun, something
Yes.
different. You know, people enjoy the wine jellies with cheese and
Yes,
crackers,
yes.
or they're also nice to cook with.
Right.
So if you catch me at one of my farmers markets or one of my events, I may have some wine jellies. They're not readily available on my
Right.
website, but
Right.
you can, you know, reach out to me. I can
Okay.
get them. You know, I always have whatever
Right.
you need.
Yes, anything I need, she's there for me.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
absolutely. I like to try new things.
Right.
You know.
Right. Okay, well,
So-
I'm so glad that you came on the show because, again, you know, I love you as a person and I definitely love your jams. They are
Oh,
addictive
Sharon.
and, you know, people, please visit her at these farmers markets and just mention them again real quick, the different ones that you're going to be at.
I'm going to be at the Rutgers Gardens Farmers Market on Fridays. I'm going to be downtown Newark at PSE&G Plaza on Thursdays. The Summit Farmers Market is on Sundays, and at the Montclair Farmers Market on Saturdays.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was a pleasure having you on the show.
Oh,
and
thank you,
again,
Sharon.
I look forward to a lot of wonderful and great things for us for this year. So
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.